outside, but is it picking up my voice? I don't know. Okay. And we've got to try it with noise reduction on this time.
It off while I was looking down. I'm going to sync with the horn. Alright, so I'm doing just over 20 kilometers an hour. Sound check, sound check. See how it sounds. Fell off by touching it. Okay, now it's clipped right into my helmet. See how that sounds. All right. Let's try this again now. It is in the little wind guard in my helmet. And if I pull on it or touch it, it seems a bit more snug. So we're out for an evening ride in the middle of June in Edmonton. It's darker than it really is because we're covered in clouds. It's supposed to rain all next week. But we're out on the 2024 Kawasaki W800 at 7,428 kilometers on the bike. Had it for about 2 years. And I'm testing out a Moto vlogging setup with a DJI Mic 2. So far I'm not happy with the DJI. I don't know if I have a bad defective model or what, but it seemed to be getting a lot of compression sounds, and it sounds like it's underwater or in an echoey bathroom. Let's see how this DJI mic holds up while I'm riding. I go on a highway home, test it out over 100 kilometers an hour. So I'm in 5th gear, going up to 80 kilometers an hour, and it's doing 80 to 100 without downshifting on this bike. There we go. Doesn't take much, just a gentle twist of the throttle. There are a lot of complaints or opinions or reviews that this bike is underpowered or too slow. It will do any speed limit in North America just fine. Everyone's got an opinion, and a lot of people like to compare spec sheets and talk about numbers, and they basically just want to go for, you know, social club meetups and debate with each other. If that's your thing and you're looking for some entertainment, then by all means go ahead. So I'm recording with the DJI Mic 2 and recording into itself. But I've got a separate shotgun mic plugged into my GoPro. And overall, I've been trying to do this moto vlogging for about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year. And I've been very frustrated with the audio quality and controls and options that you have with the GoPro. I've tried multiple different microphones to try and get some good audio out of it. It's been a struggle. I thought getting a DJI Mic 2 would solve all my problems, but in fact it's been one of the worst for audio quality. I've got a person here going below the speed limit. And then somebody passing barely any speed. Yeah, get over there. As you can see, there's absolutely no problem passing at high speed or at highway speed. And I didn't have to downshift. So in my opinion, this bike is not underpowered or slow. I've had a few other bikes in my life, and my brief 11 years of being a motorcycle owner, and I really like 5 speeds. I had a Moto with the 6th gear, and I found it unnecessary and just kind of awkward. So in my last review, I tried to talk about some of the features of this bike a little bit. I'm not sure if the audio will turn out from that, so the risk of repeating myself, I'll just go over the 2 years of ownership of this bike. I'm at just over 7,400 kilometers. I still haven't reached the first service, even though I've done multiple oil changes on it. The first service is at 12,000 kilometers. And looking at the service manual on this, the bike essentially just needs oil changes, air filter changes. They say to change the spark plugs every 12,000, which is a lot more frequent than I would think. But, I mean, what's a spark plug? $10, $20 each. I don't think I'll change it without actually inspecting them first and checking the gap and what the condition of the burn is. But oil and filter, as well as the air filter, that's all you really need to do, is just keep the chain clean, keep your tires in good shape, lubricate all the moving parts and all the cables, then just do the oil change and the air filter change at least once a season, if not twice. The price of filters have gone up though. I just bought 2 new filters for my CB750 Nighthawk, and that was $47 Canadian. But a jug of Moto oil is about $60, and if a filter is about 22, 23 bucks. And I don't know the price of an air filter, but essentially it's going to cost you around $100 a year in service. This is a cheap bike to maintain. I know the valve adjustment needs a little bit of work because you have to remove the tank for that. But so far it's just parked outside over the winter. I cover it with a motorcycle cover. I don't add any fuel stabilizer. I don't take the battery out. I don't put a battery tender on it. And I just put the key in and fire the bike up and it goes. And I've done that for the past 11 years that I've been a motorcycle owner, and I've never had any problems. Even with, you know, our Alberta winters going down to minus 45 sometimes. The only real noticeable, I guess, wear that I experience is my tires tend to lose a lot of air over the winter. So I've been doing the YouTube thing for just over a year, and I get a lot of comments about how boring my videos are and how boring the riding is, or I drive it like it's a car and I don't do spirited riding. And unfortunately, something I can do about the fact that Canada is the second largest country in the world, and we tend to, you know, build our highways in as straight of a line as possible. And frankly, cost of everything goes up with inflation. So I ride gently to save my tires, save the wear on my brakes, save on fuel. You take it on a nice long highway trip and you still get the engine hot. Try and burn off some carbon, build up. And you don't have to be aggressive and abuse your vehicles to get enjoyment out of them. You can do that if you want, if you can afford it. But I tend to get anywhere from 10 to 12,000 kilometers on a set of tires. And tires aren't cheap anymore. It used to be when I bought my first motorcycle. It was a 1975 Honda CB550. I bought a pair of Dunlop K70s. I love those tires on that bike. And they were $90 each. And now I think they're over $200 each. You could 10 years ago replace your motorcycle tires for about $200, and now it seems like a rear tire on the motorcycle is about $250 and a front tire is about $150. So all the more reason to be gentle. check your tire pressure. Keep your tires properly inflated. Somebody who's covering my blind spot there. Some wobblies. Here, they like to use this rubbery tar, and when they extend the roads in Alberta, they just stitch it together, and it gives you the death wobble, but also they use this soft tar that melts in the heat. So when you hit that, you can feel your bike sinking into it. It's dangerous. Guy in the white truck likes to just sit at green lights. The bike does just fine on the highways. Does just fine for passing. It has plenty of power, and then once you get into the cities and you're riding around at slower speeds, again, I find it very, very supple and effortless to ride. And that's the way I would describe this bike. It's just supple and effortless. And I've always had Hondas. Briefly had a Moto Guzzi. Hondas have always been old. I had a 1975 CB550, then a 1991 CB750, still have that, and I had a 1982 CB900 custom. And I was always envious of how soft and light all the controls were on newer vehicles. Especially with the CB900, the throttle was quite heavy on that. I understand you're moving 4 times the throttle plates. So it's a bit heavier to move because it's an inline 4, and it's a bigger bike. Yeah, this bike is quite easy to maneuver. I won't say it's, you know, athletic or nimble, but it's easy to ride and it's responsive. It does what you need. It's you don't have to fight it ever. It's kind of predictable. It's a very overlooked bike. It doesn't have the style and the looks of a Moto Guzzi, and it doesn't have the speed and power and the sort of the brand and the following of a Triumph. And it's priced in between the two. There we go. Let's see how that turned out.